Well, lots of action on the Wall Street. Stocks specific, largely being led by earnings, which continue to dominate on the news front. So here's rounding up some of the action on the market today and the top 5 stocks. Well, first up, it's got to be Voda Idea. As Kumar Mangalam Birla announces that historic decision to step down from the position of non-executive chairman of the company. This is just 2 days after he offers his stake to government entities. If that is something that will help salvage the beleaguered entity which is drowning in debt. Well, it's not just VI that will, of course, be tanking in trade. It's down almost 10%, but also its related entities which will be in focus. The biggest exposure to V is by IDFC First Bank, followed by Indus Bank. So, I think the stress on these 2 books will be watched out for, especially the smaller ones. Bharti Airtel, in the meanwhile, of course, will be up in trade as an opportunity to garner market share. Because remember, at this point of time, folks, people are writing off Vi as being a player in the telecom space. And this, the step down by Mr. Birla is being seen as the final nail in the coffin. We'll also be watching out for Titan. Meantime, its Q1 numbers were better than expectations, despite the fact that, of course, they had to grapple with the second wave of COVID-19. Stores once again were shut, and let's not forget the businesses that it's in, jewelry, watches and eyewear particularly. Jewelry is still being seen as a store of value, but all of these businesses are very, very vulnerable to income hits, and that's the reason why this is going to be a tough quarter. But nevertheless, they've managed to sail through. We also do have Hindalco, which will be in focus. Novelis and Aleris, its US subsidiaries, reported their Q1 performance, and it's once again been a blockbuster set. Novelis managed to beat expectations on the EBITDA front, continue to record best ever EBITDA. So Hindalco, will as well stand to benefit on a consolidated basis. Remember, Novelis is anyway set to do very well, given the fact that the aluminum market is in a big deficit, especially in the US. That is the market that Novelis and Aleris cater to. Aleris, of course, being a relatively newer acquisition as well, seems to be integrating well with Hindalco's operations. Cipla's Q1 numbers are expected, and ET now poll pegs a growth of 20% on the bottom line. The profit after tax is seen roughly at around 680 crore rupees. Remember that Cipla is also going to be in focus, especially after Sun Pharma and Dr. Reddy's reported its numbers. Dr. Reddy's was down, but Sun Pharma saw a massive boost after the Q1 numbers. So I think pharma has largely shifted to being stock-specific rather than a whole sectoral move. And finally, Tata Communications slipping in trade after it reported a lackluster Q1 performance. Its data revenue declined 0.6% sequentially, affected by COVID-related slowdown.